What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So today I'm going to teach you how I buy $20 bills with just $1. So you might be asking yourself, can I really buy $20 bills? If so, how can I buy them for $1 and what is this process? Well, put simply, you obviously can't go out and purchase physical $20 bills, but what you can do instead is you can spend $1 on online arbitrage products, flip those products, and then make $20 back. It's really, really simple. All you really need is a place to source from that's very, very cheap, so you get products for about $1. And then you obviously need a place and a platform to resell them back on, where you're earning anywhere from 10 to 30 bucks depending on the product. And that is how you can buy $20 with just $1. So without further ado, we're going to jump over to my laptop and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this and how you can too. Alright guys, so here we are on my computer and I'm going to show you the exact process that I use to source online arbitrage products and then where I go to resell them. So I'm going to give you two sites right here, right now, where you can source these products and get them to your door for about $1, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, and I'm going to show you all that here. It depends on the product and really realistically what you're going to buy. If you're buying clothes, if you're buying, tech products, it's going to be very, very different. So that is up to you to decide what is best for you and the platforms that you plan on selling on. I'm also going to tell you where to flip these products, how I go about it, and the entire process that I go through. Here's two liquidation pallet sites, and these are probably my two favorite. Now, there are many places to buy liquidation pallets, and all essentially a liquidation pallet is, before we jump into this, for those of you that are asking, is a liquidation pallet can be anywhere from, realistically like 20 products all the way up to 1,000 realistically. I've seen some that are like thousands. It's crazy. And that price is obviously going to vary, but the way that these companies get these products and they sell them in bulk as liquidation pallets is typically from other stores. Sometimes they're online stores, but most of the time they're retail stores. So for example, if Walmart had a bunch of products or Target had a bunch of products that they couldn't sell or that were in their back room or whatever, and for whatever reason they might have bought or ordered, bought is not a word, I think I just invented that, by the way. They might have ordered, 200 of a certain unit, and maybe they have 10 on the shelf, but only 5 of them have sold in the past 2 months. Well, that's an indicator to that store, whether it's Target, Walmart, or wherever, that they're probably not going to push that 200, amount or quantity of that item, so they should sell some of that. Because a lot of these companies are publicly traded, and they want to show that, they want to keep that revenue as high as possible, so they're not going to just eat products that they can't sell. So what they do instead, if they can't flip them online, or they can't sell them to their customers that are in their retail stores, is they'll sell a number of quantity. Maybe that's 100, maybe that's 150, maybe it's 30, depending on whatever they want to do and how much they want to actually liquidate, to liquidation companies who will then package that stuff up and flip it to people who do this online and resell it online on sites like Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, and Amazon, like we're going to talk about here in a second, so that they can make a profit and flip it on their own. It's for people with online businesses, but that's basically the business model. So retail store sells what they can't basically sell in their retail store or their online website to a liquidation company, who then is going to flip it to you for a very, very cheap price, because the retail store just wants to get rid of it so that they can recoup some of their profit. And the liquidation pallet is just going to slightly mark it up to liquidation pallet buyers like you and me for a profit too. So we're getting very, 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 very cheap, high quality items. I'm going to show you how to source from them. So Smash Lots is one of my favorite. Bulk is also one of my favorite. We're going to source from bulk here today, and I'm going to show you the example. So you can sort by category. You can also sort by condition. You can also, basically auction out, although I have not tried that yet. I've only currently bought 5 liquidation pallets from bulk. All of them I literally sourced like I'm about to show you here in a second. So like I said, you can bid on stuff if you want to get it really, really cheap, although you have to, continually match bids and it can be annoying. You can also check what they've newly added. You can sort condition like new, brand new, uninspected returns, and salvage and scratch and dent. So these are important things to keep in mind, as you'll see when we sort categories. You want, in my opinion, you want either brand new or like new. You can go uninspected returns, and if you go uninspected returns, you will get very, very cheap items to your door. I'm going to show you that here in a second. However, if you go that route, you must understand that depending on what you're buying, if it's closed, then you can potentially get away with it, although some of them might be, damaged to the point where you can't sell them. Or it might be something as simple as, a suit, and instead of the 3 buttons that the suit's supposed to have, it's missing a button. So you can either fix it or you can sell it for cheaper, or you just have to eat that loss, but you're getting them very, very cheap. On top of that, why I say buy brand new and buy like new is because you're still getting them very, very cheap, sometimes around $1, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. But they're brand new and you can flip them back online. And I'm going to show you how for at least $10 profit margin. I promise you that. So category right here. Now I'm going to go through. You can source from computers and office. You can source consumer electronics. You can source toys. You can source whatever you want. Obviously, what you're sourcing depends on where you're planning on selling it. So source with the end game in mind. If you're planning on selling consumer electronics, well then you can't flip on Poshmark, and you might want to go the other route to Mercari, eBay, and Amazon. I'm going to talk about all the marketplaces and the e-commerce places where you can sell these in the future. Same thing with toys. So if you're sourcing toys, know that Poshmark is strictly a clothing place. You can't sell toys on Poshmark. However, if you're sourcing apparel and accessories, which is what I personally do, that's just my choice, and I know that I can flip clothes because I can leverage my Poshmark closet, which has about 50,000 followers and gets consistent traffic, and it has automation going currently, and it's sharing all the time, so I can leverage that traffic to sell clothes. On top of that, clothes can be sold on Mercari, clothes can be sold on eBay, and sometimes they can be sold if they're brand name products and they're in good condition on Amazon, although clothes typically don't flip on Amazon. So if you're selling consumer electronics, maybe an Amazon or an eBay, depending on the product, is where you want to go with selling Mercari and ranking your account in the process. For today's specific example, we're just going to talk about apparel and accessories, so clothing. That's what I like to do. If you guys have any questions on any of this, make sure to drop them down in the comments section down below, and I would love to answer them for you. So if you're interested in tech or electronics, I'll answer those questions. I'd love to help you out, although I personally just like to source from the clothing. So I'm going to sort by price low to high, and we're going to start seeing exactly what's available to us and how we can get some items to our house for $1. So this is a good example. I usually like to go through, and I'll show you up in the top right here, how many items you're getting. Obviously, the price of each pallet. It's always $30 shipping on bulk.com, flat to your door. It'll tell you the overall price that pallet actually is, how many items come in that pallet, and what you're paying per item. So this is $4.18 per item, $5.53 per item. What I like to do is I'll scroll down, and I'll go to like 3 or 4, and I'm going to buy a little bit higher right here. So you'll see this example right here is unexpected returns. You're getting 106 items to your door for $130 so around $124 per item, hence the $1 to your door. Now, I don't necessarily like to go with uninspected returns. You are getting 106 items, so the markup is definitely there to make a vast, majority of your profits. However, I personally like to go with something that's, brand new. So this is a great example. 23 items, brand new, but that's a little bit steep at $5.74 an item. So I'm going to try to find something better. There are better out there. You just have to sort through them. So let's go through. This is a little bit better. Although it's uninspected returns. So we're going to sort brand new. 17 items, that's 8. And you'll start to notice that if you're buying shoes, it'll tell you the retail price too. So this is $382 suggested retail price. So that's typically what it's worth. Now you're going to want to mark that down a little bit because you're probably not going to sell it at that rate. Although if they are brand new, you can pretty much flip them back on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and sometimes Amazon for slightly marked down from their retail value, especially if they're new. New stuff sells like crazy on Poshmark and Mercari. And on eBay too, although I don't sell on eBay anymore personally because they suspended my account. And if you guys haven't checked out that video or why, it has nothing to do with this, so you're perfectly allowed to do this. It actually has to do with drop shipping that I did, about a year ago. So if you haven't checked that video out, I'll drop a card up to the right-hand corner right now if you're interested in figuring out why. So this is a little bit better. This is also on inspector returns. This is also a little bit better. This is brand new. So this is a first promising one right here. 60 items for a total of $137 to our door, and you're getting them for about $228 an item. So that might be something I want to look into. Let's try to find some better ones. This is on inspector returns, brand new at 3, brand new. Let's keep going. So this is also on inspector returns. Let's see, brand new. Let's see if we can sort through with brand new as well. Can you do both? You can't do both, I don't think. No, you can't. So this is also on inspector returns, brand new. Where are we? Brand new, 13. Let's go back to 3 maybe. See if we can get a better one. Here's a 421, 214. So this is 59 items, $2.14 to our door. It looks like there's a brand name right there, and it'll also tell you the brands that come in there, and that's a great thing to do because some brands sell better on Poshmark, some brands sell better on Mercari. You have to check the sales velocity and what's actually available on the site, and I've talked about that countless times on this channel as well as the vast array of my courses that I talk about, but I'm not here to pitch you any of my my Udemy courses here today. So this would be a good example too. Although it's uninspected returns, I might check it out because it's about $182 per item. You're getting 71 items to your door. Depending on what it is, you're talking about Skechers, you're talking about Champion. So those are pretty solid brand names products. I could continue to sort through these and search, and obviously I would do that if I were really intending to buy one of these right now. But for the sake of saving your time and not wasting just kind of sourcing through and trying to find a great example, let's just pretend that we spent, a good time sourcing through, and these were two of the best ones that we found. So maybe I would come back and I might purchase this one right here, $137 to my door, so it's $107 for the lot price, $30 for shipping. Its suggested retail is $658, or $651, sorry, I completely read that wrong. So what you could basically do is you could either buy this now, or you could add it to your watch list and see if the price continues to drop. If nobody buys it within a certain amount of time, the price can drop occasionally. It depends on how frequently they're adding new items and a lot of different factors. But so basically what you want to do is you want to look at what this actually is and see if you feel like you can sell that. Now I know the type of clothes right away when I'm seeing them, and these are all brand new. So they're all typically on Poshmark. You can at least flip brand new clothes for at least $10 most of the time. So if I can buy every single one of these items at $228 to my door, then I can flip them back for at least $10. Then, that's probably about a $5 profit margin per item because obviously Poshmark's going to take their slight cut. Now, I'm also going to flip them on Mercari. So these are also sites that I flip them on. You're going to flip them back on Poshmark, which, there's a lot of clothes that flip on Poshmark. Mercari is also a great site to flip not just clothes, but literally anything. The only thing that to my knowledge, you can't sell on Mercari is, like nutrition stuff and stuff with a what's the word? An expiration date. So you can't sell like supplements or anything like that either. But that's the only thing that you can't sell on Mercari. So you can pretty much sell clothes or anything else like that doesn't involve those things on Mercari. You can also flip them on eBay, although like I said before, I'm no longer allowed to sell on eBay, at least from this IP address. And then on Amazon too, although for the most part, you can check the Amazon listings for some things like that, but the majority of clothes that you buy, if you're buying something else, if the majority of clothes that you buy, you will not be selling back on Amazon. So you can sell on Poshmark and you can sell on Mercari mainly, and then also eBay, although I don't personally do that. So if I can get these, let's just say hypothetically, at worst, I sell each of these over the next 2 to 3 months for maybe a minimum $5 profit margin. Let's pull up the calculator and I'll show you exactly what that comes out to be. So $5 times how many items were there? There were 60. So 5 times 60 is $300. I'm spending $137 to get that. So $137, and that's $163. So if I can flip all these within a month or two, maybe 3, I'm basically spending $137, and I'm turning that $137 into 60 times 5, which is $300. So that's basically how you multiply your money, and that's how you can basically make $1 into 20. Now, keep in mind that's just a lowball estimate. If I sold all of these for a $10 profit margin, so maybe I listed them all on Poshmark and Mercari for like 13 or 14 bucks, well then I'm selling 60 times 10, which ends up being $600, and then you're spending $137 to make $600 back 2 to 3 months later. Now that is about as good of a return on your investment as you will see. I don't care if you're investing in stocks, I don't care if you're investing in real estate. That might be a little bit more long term. This is shorter term money. Basically, within a month or two, you can flip most of these items. Obviously, all of them aren't going to flip, but the majority of them are going to flip within a month or two. And this is a great way that you can basically spend $1, so to speak, and then get a $10 back or a $20 bill back. You just have to basically be willing to buy products and then list them on these sites, do a little bit of the grunt work, and then you can make the money.